Well, I'm finally gonna get past this diversion swell and let's go look at the terrace. Last few days I did some work on it. Did some mowing so we can walk through it. Generally let it run wild just once a year, maybe twice a year I'll get in there and mow it. But that's the end of the diversion swell, which is a culvert, kind of cuts underneath and comes out over here. Let me get through the gate over here. Alright, so this is my infamous terrace. You can see Candyland over there. I just made a video. We had a baby cow born this morning. See if I can pan in and show you the baby. Anyway, Shamrock had her baby, which is pretty cool. And we did a couple of things. This was all, everything was just tall grass. You can kind of see where I didn't mow just on these inclines here. I mean, it was all tall like that. But I had to run water out here to keep everything alive. Anyway, I'd put the spigots right in the middle of this thing, and I couldn't bring a mower in without running over a spigot. So we actually came and trenched over and moved all the spigots along this wall over here. This is supposed to be deer proof. Supposed to be a vineyard, tree orchard, basically a food forest. Anyway, the deer have been getting in here, and you know, I plant grape plants, and you know, then I bring water out here so I can get them watered, and then a deer gets here and eats every single leaf off the grape plant. This is walking down this pretty steep incline here. So it's pretty sad I had to cage in the caged-in terrace. Anyway, I've got a grape plant here that's just starting to, I think everything up here is dead, but up from the roots is a little bud coming out. So I think this grape is alive. But we took 3 gates, kind of sandwiched them in to keep the deer out of it. I mean, hopefully someday this will truly be deer proof. The goal is grapes, kiwi, roses, chodi, whatever. I mean, my dream is vines coming and sprawling over the top of this. I've been working on it 3 or 4 years, and I've failed every year. I did from my greenhouse, the chote, C-H-A-Y-O-T-E. Went ahead and took one, planted it here. I'm just gonna, if it survives, I'll have it just grow over this, grow up, and then I may end up having to put cattle panels up here for it to, you know, just throw a cattle panel. I've got, looks like 1, 2, 3 square tubing going across what I call the clothesline poles, but I'll throw a cattle panel up there and let the vines grow on it. But the chodi has a good chance of making it up to the top this year, so I'm pretty excited about that. I just hope it lives. I heard they really weren't good for transplanting, but had to start it in the greenhouse because it takes such a long growing season for it. Even here in Central Texas, I had to get it started. And then continue to walk down here. I mean, we did this also. This is another one, and we just half circled it. Nothing survived here. I mean, there's some kind of vine down there. Did not survive, but I've got horseradish right there. We put this one up also. I think I had kiwi on this last year, and I think I'm realizing that kiwi is just not going to take this alkaline water I've got. Anyway, we just went pulling cattle panels off the property and kind of making these little fenced areas. But in the greenhouse, I still have gooseberry, Nanking cherry, and I'll probably end up planting them in here. Give us, you know, like I said, just if deer do get into the terrace, they're not going to be able to get to the plant. And this was a nice little surprise. This one's a grape and actually survived. So this is probably the best I've ever gotten, to be honest with you, in the terrace here. So you'll be happy about it being 12 inches off the ground. And I go in my greenhouse and they're 5 feet tall at this point. But granted, you know, spring started in the greenhouse 2 months ago. Spring just now starting here. This is a climbing rose. It looks like down there on the bottom it's coming up. So that's pretty exciting. Let me just take a walk through it. I've got peach tree, got a pecan tree over there, got a couple more pecan trees down here. I'm not sure how much time I spent showing you all this terrace, but pecan tree here. This is my mulberry slash peach tree. I mean, this thing gets to be such a jungle. I mean, I'll come plant a tree and not realize I'm planting it in the same hole. There's another tree, and that's what happened here, but I'm just letting them go. But this, I almost think that this peach tree actually saved this mulberry tree, because if you come to this one over here, it has not leafed out. Now the deer came and ate every leaf as high as they can get, and then I think spider mites got the rest of it. But as you can see down here, new ones popping up from the ground, so it'll be fine. Then we got a pear tree, and I'm pretty sure this is the pear that makes the apple-shaped pears. The name's passing me right now, but passed up my native persimmons. I think they're the little black persimmons that are native here. I didn't have any on my property, but a friend gave me some when they were doing some earthworks. But got it right here. It's a little black, I believe they're little black persimmons, and they're real bitter until a freeze comes, so you gotta wait till a frost and then harvest them. You know, I got so many plants that I planted in here. It's kind of disgusting when you think about the fail rate. But blackberries, gooseberry, Nanking cherry, pomegranate, strawberries. I mean, I planted a lot of stuff in here. Just hadn't had very much success, but maybe this is the year. Let me just continue walking down. So down there is where the culvert I showed you, and the theory is the water just flows down here. I think the drop is about 1 foot for every 50 feet it travels. So it allows the water to sink in, travel down this way. But as it continues its way to my pond system, and I'll keep walking through here. So we get down to here, and I have another culvert that travels just past this rest of this fencing system. Then you can kind of see the little trail as it heads into my sediment pond here. Anyway, I just can't remember how much detail I've shown on this terrace. I mean, it's the thing I'm most excited about, but it's caused a lot of frustration, but I'm not giving up. Like I said, this year we got better deer protection, we got well water out here, and I'm going to continue to plant and see what we can do. All right, you have a great day.